Shredded if they don't approve.
Go ahead and start the meeting this evening with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, everybody, welcome to this regular City Commission meeting, Monday, June 22nd, 2026. I want to apologize to everybody in the room here. We have quite the pungent odor wafting through our chamber, so I'm glad the people at home, welcome to all of you. You don't have smell-o-vision, but we'll get through it. We'll go ahead and roll on with our roll call, please.
Benson. Here. Birch.
Here.
Brunick.
Here.
Sarda.
Here.
Conkling.
Here.
Hanoff.
Here.
Mosier.
Here.
Spencer.
Here.
Mayor Villanueva.
Here.
City Manager Leon.
Here.
City Attorney Denherter.
Here.
Okay, next we'll go ahead and go over the approval of the agenda. Do I have an approval of the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda. Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Okay, the agenda is approved. Next, we have the minutes of the regular meeting of June 8th, 2026. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes of June 8th.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion on that, the minutes from last time? Anyone from the public? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The minutes are approved from June 8th. Next, item number 4, we have the schedule of bills. We have some bills to be paid. Do I have a motion to pay our bills?
Move to pay the bills. Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion about paying the bills? Seeing no, Amy, do you have anything?
No, sorry.
Okay. Seeing no mics come on, anyone from the public? Roll call, please.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye. Bills will be paid. Next, we have the city manager's report.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, members of the commission and public. Quite a few things here for you, some calendar related and some community related, since it'll be a while after this meeting before we meet again. So want to remind everyone that our mission is working together to provide exemplary experiences, services, and spaces that create opportunities for everyone to learn, engage, and thrive. Just across my email this afternoon, there is going to be an educational session sponsored, put on by Thrive on Wednesday, this Wednesday. So I'll note to the media that if more than 4 of you are interested, there could be a quorum present. That's going to be at the Elks Lodge at 6 p.m. for an opportunity for the public to learn about Senate Bill 96, the county road and bridge levy, and the data center utilization. So there's a number of speakers coming. You can hop on Thrive's website. I'll shoot out the information to the commission tomorrow. And you can learn about those things. Lots of information there and lots of things to learn about that are going to be coming forward, not just specific to us, but our whole county, and in some instances, the state. So good stuff if you're able to attend, and that's on Wednesday. Also, would like to remind folks that the time has finally come to start talking about our city election. I know everyone's tired of talking about elections and runoffs and this, but we're going to talk about elections some more. So the first date to file for city commission is Friday, July 3rd. We've moved our election, as you know, to November. You can start circulating petitions that day, but the way the calendar falls, we are closed on Friday the 3rd. So you do need to have that notarized. Anyone that is running for city commission has to turn those back in. The deadline to file is Tuesday, August 25th. To file or withdraw. So we'll talk about those dates a lot here upcoming, but I wanted to make sure I talked about them so that the public did hear about that before Friday, July 3rd. Thank you. Also, I want to talk about the 4th of July and the 4th of July weekend. First of all, solid waste. Customers that are Thursday and Friday routes. Both routes will be picked up on Thursday because city offices are closed on Friday. So if you're a Friday customer, your solid waste recycling will be picked up on Thursday. Please check our website for the hours of our transfer station if you're using the transfer station over the holiday weekend. And then please join us for the 250th celebration. All the things we have going on the 4th of July, as well as fireworks in the evening. So we're all excited for that. Also, just so the commission is informed, we will be having our employee picnic on Wednesday, July 8th in the park. We want to thank Mayor Villanueva for allowing us to put that on because of his generosity. We're able to do that. That's something we were going to pull back on this year, but we're able to do that. So we're excited to have not just full-time staff, but also our summer part-time staff come down and have a burger or whatever the committee chooses. So we're excited to do that once again. Kellengross Drive is going to be closed from 21st Street to 23rd Street for reconstruction beginning on June 29th. Almost done here, so hang with me. Commissioner Conkling and I have been visiting. He had a great idea about the 250th to work on a Liberty Tree project. So many communities are doing that, and that's something that we hadn't taken part in yet. And so he's working with myself, and we're going to work with the park staff and do that closer to fall after some of our summer quiets down here a little bit. But more on that later. But a good way to commemorate the 250th and our right as Americans to assemble and to come together and follow the civic process. So we're looking forward to having that in our community as well. July 13th is the next time we'll meet here formally as a city commission. Plan to be able to work with you and discuss our utility rates, and we'll have our utility study done by then, we expect, so we can look at that and visit about that. Also plan to have information for you related to conflict of interest. That was an item that we wanted to talk about. So hoping to bring that forward, and if it's all right with the commission, thinking we can put that on maybe at the end of a commission meeting as a discussion item. You can provide direction then how to move forward as opposed to having an entirely full work session just on that. We're open to do that, but I'm thinking that's a topic we can probably cover in the same same meeting as a regular meeting. So unless there's feedback on that, Mayor, I think that's everything I have, or questions for me.
Any questions? Yes, Commissioner, go ahead.
Yeah, I did have a question, and hopefully it's a moot point because hopefully we won't have any weather as cool the rest of the summer as we've just had. But I noticed we had to close the outdoor pool a couple of times this past weekend for the cool weather. And then I would go to the summit, and didn't see anybody using the pool there, and I'm wondering, do we encourage or invite those people to go over to the summit and use that pool when we can't be open outside?
I think Todd has I don't want to say it wrong, but Todd, I think you have a policy on the temperature that we close the pool or inclement weather, and then what happens after that? Do you want to address the commission? Because I'm not exactly sure.
When the weather doesn't get above 70 degrees forecast, and if it's going to be cloudy, that's the two variables we look at. And no, we do not transfer open swims over to the summit. So if that's something the commission would like us to look at, we could.
It would seem like an opportunity to just move some of those lifeguards over there and take advantage of that.
Yeah, good idea. Any other commissioners? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I want to give a shout out, if that's appropriate.
Absolutely. Now's a good
We're
time.
meeting to do that. On June 13th was the Rib Fest and Chislik Fest down at Riverside Park. I wanted to commend Jeff Dayhoff and his crew. It was a wonderful day. Got just a picture-perfect day to be outside. The attendance estimate was 12,000 people or better, so that made it pretty active down there. The entertainment was quite impressive, and lots of good food and activities. Amongst the people that approached me while I was down there, there were a lot of comments about it. All of them, thankful that it was in the park, and from the ability to have shade, to have breeze, to have seating, and to have a soft venue in terms of grass and so forth, as opposed to concrete, made quite a difference. So that was kind of it. So I wanted to give a shout out on that. And then last but not least, one of my favorite subjects, the center is hosting their annual gala on July 10th. It's a 50s theme. And if anyone is interested, tickets are available or information by calling the center. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. I promise I won't hold it against you for stealing my thunder. Anybody else? Okay, a couple things I do have. I would actually like to keep the, what we talked about, a work session, if we could, the conflict of interest. The reason I bring that up is because there's some other things that I want to kind of incorporate into that whole work session, whether just some of the processes that we have in the city commission, and we'll touch on that, but it's just, I think it'll encompass a whole work session, so I think that'll be worth it in the end.
When would you like that scheduled, Mayor?
What's a good time? You tell me. When would we normally schedule it?
Typically, we'd schedule them on a non-meeting Monday. With the budget, it would be best for staff to probably do that after the 31st of July, so I don't have
Okay.
a couple people pounce on me here,
Yeah, let's not do that.
if that's okay with the commission. So I'm not looking at a calendar
Okay,
here.
that's okay. Is that okay, Commissioner, that we do it after, so we're not stressing out the staff? Yeah, we'll come up with that, and we'll do it after then.
Okay, maybe I'll propose a date and see what feedback I get
Yeah, that's
in my
perfect.
next weekly report.
Thank you, City Manager, appreciate it. Also, I do want to touch on, again, Ribfest. Thank you, I'll echo that sentiment. What a wonderful thing. I'm sorry that I missed it. Sorry, Jeff, that I missed that, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. I was in Watertown taking a 16 hours of fire school class, so that was also a very fruitful thing for myself and the fire department. One of the things, too, that I want to also bring up is a huge thank you. About 3 or so weeks ago, I saw a gentleman crossing from Avera to Westside Park in a wheelchair in the crosswalk. Without that sign, that warning sign, that crosswalk button for someone, there's no way that someone with a disability would have been able to cross from Avera, or just from anywhere, from there to the park and then vice versa. So it really touched my heart that somebody was able to do that, and I was just so thankful that we were able to get that done for people that need to cross a busy street. So thank you for that. Also, I want to give a shout out myself to, again, another apology for missing her retirement, but I have to, give a huge thank you for all the years of service that our Julia Hussein, one of our dispatchers, our dedicated dispatchers, has given to the city of Yankton, not only to the city, but truly all of its citizens. Know that when you call 911, there's trained staff and people at that service to answer the phone and get help to you, whether it be police, whether it be fire, EMS. Someone is only a phone call away when you call for help, and they're well trained. And so we will miss you, Julia, but thank you for all the good times, the hard work, and the knowledge that you've imparted to all those dispatchers down at the police station. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Okay, I've gone on long enough. Again, any other commissioners have anything? Okay, we'll go ahead and move on then. Next, we have our public appearance. So this is the time for anyone from the audience to come up and address the commission on anything that is not listed on the agenda. Now would be your time to come up, and you have approximately 3 minutes to do so. So I would give you the floor. Please state your name.
Nancy Winandy, CEO, Yankton Thrive. So, City Manager Leon, thank you for mentioning the education session that Thrive is hosting. I just want to remind everyone, as commissioners, you should have received your invitation via email today. We were late in getting those out because the commission last Tuesday decided that they were going to have a special meeting on June 30th. So by the time we were able to line up some speakers and get the information, it all came together over the weekend. So that's why you're getting the information on that today. And that is open to the public. And it is not a discussion on pro or con on any of those three topics. It is an educational opportunity to learn about both sides of an issue. So as constituents, you can provide feedback to the commissioners before they take that vote on June 30th. And lastly, Commissioner Birch, thank you for your comments on Rib Fest. We actually ran some numbers today with the software that we have. And because the last Rib Fests were in downtown, not in Riverside Park, we ran collective numbers for who was in the downtown Meridian District and who was at Riverside Park in 2024, 2025, and 2026, each of the Rib Fest days, and it showed 8,000 more people in our downtown this year than in the previous years when Rib Fest had been hosted. So it was about 18,000 people that we counted in the Meridian District and at the Riverside Park collectively over the entire day. So I think it was a great testament to the great weather that we had, as well as a great event. So thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Oh, yes, Commissioner, go ahead.
Nancy?
Yeah, technically,
That's fine, I'll ask her later.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you. Okay, next, we do have, are there any scheduled presentations? It looks like we have none tonight, so we'll go ahead and move on from scheduled presentations. Next, item number 2 on our agenda is consent items, and we have no consent items. Item 3 would be old business, and under old business, we have no old business. So new business, item 1 under new business would be commission support requested for the Yankton Thrive Business Incubator known as the Yard. Consideration of memorandum number 26-137 recommending the City Commission show its support for the development of the Yankton Thrive Business Incubator known as the Yard. Represent a strategic investment in the long-term economic vitality of Yankton. Now, and I had this discussion with the city manager. I don't know if this is really more of just a discussion as opposed to an actionable item, because I'll be signing the document. But Nancy, would you mind coming up and give us some background on this for the commission?
Nancy Winandy, CEO of Yankton Thrive. This idea was developed out of the availability of EDA funding because of the closure of American Foods. So we have been working closely with EDA staff on what types of projects are eligible, what would be the greatest benefit to the community. We knew that we wanted to do something in partnership with another organization, so we had the discussions with the Yankton School District, with Mount Marty, with District 3, trying to figure out what type of a project would be really beneficial to Yankton. And EDA does not fund every project under the sun, so we had to work within the parameters of what they would potentially fund because it is an application process. There is no guarantee that we will receive this, but we could potentially receive $2 to $3 million to go towards a project. It could be no more than 80% of a total project. So we knew we wanted to find some partners to get something done. So right now, we have been working with ISG, an engineering company out of Sioux Falls, on a project that would be with Mount Marty that would include a business incubator. We have heard from multiple people that that is one of the gaps in services that we have here in Yankton of how do we help people who have an idea take that into a business? How do we help people who have a business who want to grow and expand and maybe don't have a history of doing that or don't have a mentor who can help walk them through that? So that is where the partnership with Mount Marty comes into play, that they will be a great asset with Dave Spencer as one of the instructors up there in how we help students think about starting new businesses and utilizing that entrepreneurial mindset, as well as people who also live in the region. So that's the idea that we have. Nothing has been finalized because we are still working through the process of securing the final location for it. So even the name that we've been using, the yard, that could potentially change as well. We've just been using some terminology to make sure we're all speaking the same language as we're going through that. And we are, right now, the engineering company who's doing the feasibility study is asking for the letters of support, because once we finish the feasibility study, then the entire packet of information with all the letters of support that we've received go to the planning district. So District 3 then takes that, and they work for another 90 days on the application that will go to the EDA. Once it goes to the EDA, it goes through a regional review, and if we get approved out of the regional review, then it goes to a national review. And then if we're approved, potentially by the end of the year, we would know if we will have funding in place to do a business incubator in partnership with Mount Marty.
That's wonderful. Do you foresee the city putting any funds into this, or would it be that just Thrive then, that the grant and then Mount Marty?
Yeah, we are not actually asking for money from Mount Marty either.
Oh, okay.
This is a partnership project, but we're not asking for funding from them. That's where we're talking about maybe partnership on location, as well as utilizing some of their staff to provide some of the services within the building. But the money that is provided to Thrive through our annual allocation is what helps support staff and the services that we need to provide and can provide these businesses in the community or the startups.
Okay.
So no, we are not asking for any cash contributions.
Okay. Well, thank you for that explanation. Any other commission questions? Okay. Well, I'm, like I said, and I know I was quoted in the paper, I'm really excited to hear more about the project. I really haven't heard a whole lot about it, but from what I have heard, it sounds amazing, and how could that be wrong?
Yeah, and you have not heard a lot about it because we were still working through the details, because as soon as we start talking about the details,
Right.
then everyone thinks that's exactly how it's going to happen.
Right.
And because we're still working through that
Exactly.
process, we didn't want to have any guarantees out there because there are none at this point.
Correct. And so that's my point. That's why I don't see this as an actionable item. I plan on signing this because, again, we don't even know if this will even come to fruition. But again, I think it's great. So I plan on signing it unless I hear any major backlash from the commission at this point. Okay. Well,
Thank you
thank
for
you,
that.
Nancy. I plan on signing that then. Thanks. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to item number 2 then. This is the Business Improvement District Number 1 expenditure recommendation for the National Field Archery Association Foundation. Consideration of memorandum number 26-138, recommending the City Commission approve resolution number 26-28, adopting the Yankton Business Improvement District Number 1 board funding recommendation of $40,000 to the National Field Archery Association Foundation for archery events in 2026. Commission, do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Are you up there for explanation, Mr. Bies?
Ready to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, perfect. Does anybody have any questions before we, okay? So no comments? No, yes, Commissioner, go ahead.
Yeah, it's not technically a question about this particular allocation, but I was curious when I was looking at the breakdown of the things that we spend the bid dollars on. It says 80% to Mount Marty as a multi-year pledge to the field house project. So I'm just curious in dollars, what does that 80% generally amount to per year, and for how many more years will that be the case?
Those are really good questions, and we can provide we could provide the commission an annual report on what those are. The reality is, because it's the bid district collects a $2 per night tax, the answer is it really depends on the year and how things are going. So it varies more dramatically than you would think from year to year. One of the reasons the bid board started making recommendations, you can see one on there for $5,000. The bid board moved to percentages for the very reason that you're asking. It was difficult year to year to say what average was going to be. So they allocated percentages, or suggested allocating percentages, to not end up in a situation where they had over-recommended what was eventually collected.
So roughly, you can give me a range if you like. What does that 80% amount to per year?
I'd have to go back. I can get copies for the commission of what it is. I don't know off the top of my head.
Hard to say then how many more years the obligation continues, is that what you mean?
Yeah, yeah. Until paid.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Seeing no mics pop on, do we have anyone from the public? Seeing no movement, then roll call.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Next, we have item number 3 under new business, the transfer of property to the town of Vollen. Consideration of memorandum number 26-139, recommending the city commission approve resolution number 26-29, transferring certain real estate to the town of Vollen. And I will ask for an explanation for our public for this as well, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Commissioners, you may remember a while back you approved action to allow us to become a tower in the city of Vollen, which was a bizarre experience, I think, for all of us in the process of attempting to clean this property up. The city of Yankton, back in 1985, acquired portions of the Burlington Northern Railroad from here northeast of town. Over the intervening several decades, the previous city attorneys and community and economic development directors have attempted to get rid of all the pieces of property we knew about. However, the legal description of the railroad was a fairly vague one, which means that we still occasionally have bits of property that pop up from time to time when somebody does a real estate search and discovers they're not quite sure who owns the property. And in this case, the title company did that on a piece of property in the city of Vollen, and it appeared that we were the owner of that property. It had a number of nuisances that had been created on it by adjacent property owners. Community Development and the city attorney's office worked together to remove the overwhelming majority of those nuisances in the city of Vollen, and have been informed by the Vollen Town Board that it's now at a point where they are willing to accept deed to the property. Our recommendation, as you can see in your memorandum, is to transfer the property to the city of Vollen. Makes the most practical sense for the location of the property in another municipality.
Thank you, Mr. Beach, for that explanation. Commissioners, do I have a motion then?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. First, again, any commission discussion and/or questions? Seeing no mics, anyone from the public? Okay, roll call.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 4, the green space land donation from Yankton Thrive. Consideration of memorandum number 26-140, recommending the city commission approve resolution number 26-30, accepting the donation of 0.26 acres of green space property from Yankton Thrive. Mr. Beese, I'll have you hit that one for us too before I accept the motion.
As you've probably heard me say before, we try to acquire property along Marne Creek for a couple of reasons. The primary one that folks think about is flood mitigation and stormwater management. Folks probably also think about recreation, but the one they probably don't think about is future utility corridors for sewer in particular, because Marne Creek corridor tends to be low-lying property. So in thinking ahead for the next 50 or 100 years, it makes sense to control it for stormwater purposes as well as future corridors for utilities. In this case, this is the remaining very small portion of what was laid out during the Westbrook project. During that time, the lots didn't extend all the way west. If you'll notice, it kind of gets increasingly narrow the further west you head. This sort of completes the action the commission took in 2016, moving that property, the previous about 6 acres, along with this about a 1/4 acre in the property that's mapped in floodplain, which is the reason why it wasn't included in the previous developments. So the recommendation is to accept that donation and incorporate it into the creek management that we already do.
Wonderful. Thank you for the explanation. Commissioners, do I have a motion?
Motion to go forward with the acquisition?
Second.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second on the floor. Any more commission discussion and/or questions? Seeing no mics come on. Anyone from the public? Seeing no movement, roll call, please.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 5 under new business, this is the introduction, first reading, and establishing the date for a public hearing for the temporary closure of streets and parking lots during Riverboat Days and the Summer Arts Festival. Consideration of memorandum number 26-141, recommending the City Commission introduce, conduct a first reading, and establish July 13th, 2026 as a public hearing for Yankton Riverboat Days and Summer Arts Festival special events, requesting a public street closure on Levy Street from Douglas Avenue to Pearl Street and parking lot closures from Capitol Building parking lot, Riverside Park parking lot, Riverside Park softball parking lot, and Riverside Park boat ramp parking lot. Do I have an introduction?
Introduced.
Thank you. Item number 6, the introduction and first reading and establishing the date for a public hearing for temporary street closures for the Riverboat Days Parade. Consideration of memorandum number 26-142, recommending the City Commission introduce, conduct a first reading, and establish July 13th, 2026 as the public hearing date for the Yankton Riverboat Days Parade, special events requesting public street closures both in the Meridian District and outside of the Meridian District. Street closures include Douglas Avenue from 21st Street to 8th Street, 8th Street from Douglas Avenue to Cedar Street, Cedar Street from 8th Street to 3rd Street, and 3rd Street from Cedar Street to Pine Street. Commission, do I have an introduction?
Introduced.
Thank you. Moving right along. Next, item number 7. This is the peddler's license request from Fox Pest Control. Consideration of memorandum number 26-143, recommending that the City Commission review the enclosed letter and application for the peddler's license for Tucker Murdoch, Carson Porter, Luke Johansson, Houston Johnson, and Stephen Thatcher, doing business as Fox Pest Control, 1001 North Highline Ave, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, 57110, to go house to house offering estimates and services for 5 days from June 29th through July 3rd, 2026, and deny the application. If approved, the finance officer is directed to hold the licenses contingent upon Fox Pest Control providing proof of bond and paying application fees. So as you heard me say in the reading of this here, would be to deny the application. So that would be the motion, would be to deny the application.
So moved to deny the application.
Okay?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion on this?
Isn't this the same group that had a license before and you had numerous calls about?
Correct. And they were given a warning initially and then continued to have what I would call intimidating practices and mistruths with people regarding the services provided. So that's why the recommendation is to deny.
Thank you. And just as an aside, we always welcome people to come to Yankton and peddle their wares and our services. However, when someone comes to your door and they respectfully tell you no or ask you to leave, we take that very seriously. And when we have people complaining, putting in formal complaints to us or to the police department, then that's not okay. And so again, this would be a motion, if approved, to deny this application. So do I have a motion for this then?
We
got a
already
motion,
have
second
one,
already?
Mayor.
Okay, thank you. So any more discussion? Oh, yes. Definitely, thank you.
Question maybe for Amy. Also in the packet, it said that this company's last year did end up having somebody in our community that wasn't approved. If that would happen, what should the public do? If they find that we deny, if this goes through and it's denied tonight, and somebody would start with not a peddler's license, is the call to the public to call the city offices, to call the police department?
I'd call the police department and just let them know who's at your door. And the public should know too that if someone comes to their door, they can ask them to see their license. And that's a good way to know, in fact, they are licensed in the city to do what they say they're supposed to be doing. But yeah, if someone does come to their door with this company, I would just contact the YPD and Sam will take care of them.
Great question, Commissioner. Okay, so we do have a motion and a second. So again, any further commission discussion or questions? Seeing no microphones turn on. Anyone from the public? Roll call, please.
Spencer?
Aye.
Benson?
Aye.
Birch?
Aye.
Brunick?
Aye.
Sarda?
Aye.
Conkling?
Aye.
Hanoff?
Aye.
Mosier?
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva?
Aye. Motion to deny the application is passed. Item number 8, investment policy resolution. Consideration of memorandum number 26-144, recommending that the City Commission approve resolution number 26-31, updating the City of Yankton's investment policy. Lisa, did you want to give us any quick explanation on what that is?
Yes, thank you, Mayor, Honorable Commission. In front of you, you have a resolution establishing or updating the city's investment policy. So you can kind of see a memorandum in the packet from 1976 that kind of establishes the same South Dakota codified laws that are still in place today. This is just kind of an update from that policy. There's also 2 handouts in front of you. One is from South Dakota FIT. That is kind of the state's public investment pool that a lot of local governments use. They do have a good service. The other handout is for IntraFi, ICS, and CDARS. It's kind of a handout on our cash management. That is actually what we have right now through First Dakota National Bank. So right now through that, it is a savings account and also another money market account, and we're getting over almost 4% interest rate on that right now. In comparison, South Dakota FIT right now, today's rate is 3.3%. So, but however, I think an investment policy is important to just good practice to review every once in a while and update. And 2, if the door does open and we do see that, hey, the South Dakota FIT might be a good diversification of funds, let's put some funds in there. We have that option through this policy. I did meet with South Dakota FIT, and they said that we actually had an account with them since 1993 that was set up by Jerry Nodell. So he had a good foresight in that, and we've updated our records with them. But before we did any cash transactions or anything, I really felt more comfortable meeting with the commission on this policy first. I would like to note in the resolution under section 5 that because this ICS account is, I really would like to do more, instead of interest-bearing checking accounts, to note that it's interest-bearing FDIC insured checking and savings accounts. So I would like to add that wording in that section just to be clear that any checking accounts that we do have to be FDIC insured. I'm open for any questions if anybody has any. I don't want to nerd out and bore you guys, but it's always a good thing to keep the door open and look at opportunities.
Well, we appreciate your due diligence, that's for sure. Any more questions? Okay, so then if not, I will entertain a motion then to, for the investment policy resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor. Again, any more commission discussion or questions? Seeing no mics, come on. Anyone from the public? Seeing no movement, roll call.
Benson?
Aye.
Birch?
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 9 is going to be the annual supply of transport tank wagon petroleum products. Consideration of memorandum number 26-145, recommending the City Commission accept the New Century FS bid for the annual supply of transport tank wagon petroleum products for the street division. Commission, do I have a motion?
Move to approve the bid.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve this bid. Any commission discussion? Seeing no mics come on, anyone from the public? Seeing no movement, roll call.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 10 on the list is the Chan Gurney Municipal Airport T-Hangar Lease Agreement. This is consideration of memorandum number 26-146, recommending the City Commission approve the lease agreement of Unit Number 5 of the city-owned T-Hangar at Chan Gurney Municipal Airport to Mr. Rod Skorpic.
Move to approve?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any commission discussions and/or questions? Seeing no microphones come on. Anyone from the public? Seeing no movement, roll call.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Spencer. Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Next, we move into future business. This is a time for any of the commissioners would like to bring something up regarding matters not on this agenda. This is the time to bring that up and to be acted upon, or at least to be discussed at the next commission meeting. Anyone have anything? Okay, seeing no mic. Yes,
I'm
Commissioner.
just curious, Commissioner Hanoff's recommendation, is that something that we have to put on the agenda and take action on? Or is that just something parks can do regarding the pool closing and?
Well, yeah, that's probably something that we would have to put on the agenda then and officially discuss. Correct, Ross? Yes.
So I think we should put that on next, if that's okay.
We sure can. I wanted to visit with Parks a little bit and see what the Summit Center logistics were, but I think by the time 13th rolls around, we can do that.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we have 2 commissioners that would like that on the agenda for next meeting. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, seeing no mics come on, we'll move out of future business. Next, I need a motion to adjourn into executive session to discuss contractual matters under SDCL 125-2. And as always, we will not be making any decisions or have any business after we re-adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor to go into executive session, say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. We are in executive session.